Hey, 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 I got my hat on today. Woo, look at that, man. You guys have any fertilizer? Anyway, what are you laughing about? So, we got some fertilizer right here, and we got them in these pearly whites. Oh, what the heck is going on here? There's something we got here to do a little breaking up a little different. We got what we call what we're gonna make. We bred this girl to a motley. We're hoping to have this and albino. So we'll see what happens. We've got some cool lineage there, but we thought we would show you a baby for once. Start the thing out completely different. Here, want to grab that? So maybe I can not get bit. This one's usually dog tame, but Tim said Tim, do you say he's being a little grumpy?
She's being a little grumpy, yeah.
Okay, well, so we got a couple things a little bit different.
Being a little twitchy.
We got 2 boxes here. We got to figure out a way we got to see if Tim hadn't make enough space for these eggs, because it's a pretty good sized clutch. She don't want to let me steal them. Maybe I'll just steal them a little bit at a time.
There you go.
Look at that. Nice, beautiful. Those are perfect. See, when they're all stuck together just right, she must not have laid too long ago, because they're coming together just perfect. So this girl here is 100% het albino, and she is 100% het titanium. Some people ask, well, what is het titanium? I thought it's citron, it's visual. It's a visual het. A lot of people like to debate about that, but the truth of the matter is there's a lot of snakes that are visual hets. And it gets confusing because people have named them codominant. But, you know, perfect for instance, if you breed a het mocha, a het mochino mocha, to a het Clark strain white phase or a het Clark strain purple, they work together. Well, that doesn't mean they're codominant. Even though you can visually see some of the different kinds of hets, like you can see a het ivory, because a het ivory, well, there's no such thing as a het ivory in real life, but that's a whole nother debate. But you take a het leucistic, and you can't tell the difference between a het ivory. We have some ideas of some markers that are a little bit I keep saying het ivory, but I mean het ultra. A het ultra, it looks slightly different, but the truth is, if you breed an ivory, you really don't know what you got, if they're het ultra or het leucistic. Well, that's because they're not codominant. They're just a visual recessive. And of course, you got a lemon glow. Well, they look the same too. And if you breed a lemon glow together, I guarantee it'll all work. They all work together because they're on the same allele, just like because they're recessive. They're just perfect. For instance, me and Tim were looking at a mochino the other day, and I said, it's het white. And he goes, well, it's not het white. I go, what is it? And he goes, you're right, it is het white, because it's a mocha that we're looking at. It's carrying the mochino look, but it actually, if you breed it to a white phase, you'll get white phase and mochinos from it. So it's a funny thing, but the truth is it's 2 hets that are compatible. So they work together. Doesn't mean that they're the same. See, everybody used to think purples and whites were, they said, oh, well, it can't be amel, because if it's an amel, it wouldn't have a purple baby. Well, they don't have purple babies. If you breed a white, you'll never get a purple baby from it. So it's just the way it is. So the fact of the matter is we were wrong the whole time. All they were was compatible. Oh, I can't, you guys can comment all you want on the bottom of this about purple. The truth is a purple is another line of caramel. And a white is a white. It's an amel. Whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, I call them something different just like you guys for a long time. But the fact of the matter is there's actually so many wild caught lines of amel now that they're starting to realize that some of them are compatible. And same thing with the mochino. With Indo lines. There's Indo caramels. Well, there are a lot of different looks, but that doesn't mean they're different. They're just different looks. and they are different, but the point is they work, our compatibility is similar. So when you're working with recessives, and another thing, like for instance, I'll step out of the territory even further. Why, if a cow was a codominant, if it was 2 different kinds of codominants, which we know it's not, you'd be able to breed it and remake it. But you see, it's not. It's actually recessive. There's 2 recessives, but they both have markers. Now the markers on a orange ghost stripe isn't nearly as easy to tell as a phantom. But the truth is, I believe they're both recessives, and that's why you can't breed a recessive and make it self. But then again, you can't breed a super and make it self. But a super, this is kind of complex, guys. And you guys, you know what? You can make fun of me. You can tell me you agree with me, whatever. It doesn't really matter because it is what it is. But a super form should look like two copies, and they'll always work together. So if you breed a true codom with a true codom, like for instance a motley golden, when you breed them, you make motley goldens because they're actually codoms. But if you breed a cow to a normal, you will not make a cow because they're recessives. Now I know that's kind of complex and far out there for you, but I just figured at one point I'm going to defunct the whole thing. And it's not because I'm smarter than anybody else. It's not because, it's just that we work long and hard on these things, and it's one of my passions. This is what I love to do. Me and Tim have been doing this for years. And so is everybody else. But a lot of people were quick for the codom name because codom was fast selling. I can make them in one generation. And you know what? There's plenty of hats that you can do that with. This is one, so I ended up, literally, I wanted to put these on I put stuff on World of Retics, but really it wasn't going to work out because I wasn't willing to say that they were codominant just because the calculator wanted to be worked as codominant. So that's why a lot of my stuff isn't on there. A lot of people don't know that. They wonder, wow, why aren't all those morphs on there? It's just because I'm not willing to compromise my belief of what a codominant is. A codom is a tiger. A codom is a golden child. When you breed a golden child to a golden child, you get something that looks like a super golden child. When you breed a platinum to a platinum, you don't get a super yellow snake. You see, so it's just a marker. When you breed a motley to a motley, you double replace it. You guys are starting to see the silver snakes. It's just twice as much color removed, and that's why they work. That's why when you breed a motley golden, you get a motley golden instead of it splitting back off. Because a recessive snake can't make a complete recessive snake can't make another complete recessive snake. But a codom bred to a different codom can work. It will work. Like a super tiger, even you can't make a super tiger with a super tiger. But the funny part is it looks right. It's a double marker. So when they stack together, you get what you expect. So I'm working away here, and I think Tim gave us more than enough space. But she's protecting her eggs, but she's being really good about it. This girl here is third generation het titanium, and it's amazing how much a couple generations can really help how it all goes down. A lot of people don't realize some of these snakes come from the wild, and they're genetically mean. And the good part is, you breed them to a bunch of other kinds of morphs that are tame, and before you know it, you got yourself a tame snake. I know that our original ivories their suckers were grumpy, and we had to breed some of them 2 and 3 generations to get the grumpiness out. We actually have some titaniums that are a little bit grumpy on the whole thing. But they're the platinum ones, but they're not all. Luckily, we have 1 or 2. Let me see here. How many guy? Maybe there's more eggs than we think here, huh? So I wonder, what do you guys think? What is it? When I say codom, do you think a snake that's codom, you should be able to know what it's codom for? I think so. That's why I don't think an ivory. Making an ivory is when you actually take two recessive snakes and combine them together in one. Because what it is an ultra and an ivory and a leucistic together makes an ultra. Now, of course, that was only a theory, but the
Makes an ivory.
Right, that's what I mean. It makes you breed an ultra and a leucistic, and you get an ivory.
Right.
But the thing is, we don't even know which one's which until we breed them, and then they're known. Unless if you get all ultras, that means both your parents are het ultra, and everything, all the lineage from there will always be that. Unless you somehow pulled other blood in. We figured out that some of our super dwarf stuff had all originated from another snake that we didn't own, and it was all het ultra because it all came from one platinum, And the one platinum can only carry one of the two kinds. So you can't get, there's no such thing as a het ivory, even though I keep saying that because I'm, so look at that. I think we're gonna be right on the money for filling these boxes, guys. Uh-oh, look at that. Good thing we had one slug. We may not have fit it in there otherwise. I think we had enough space. Look at that. She just tolerated the whole thing. So what do we got here?
She's perfect.
Yeah, I think we could have squeezed in a couple more. That's a nice, beautiful clutch here. Let's see what we got. This female, it depends how much you feed them too, how many eggs they lay, and if they go off food, they've been off food a long time and then ovulate. Sometimes it has a little bit smaller clutch, one that eats right up into it, and boom, they sometimes will really make a lot of eggs. So what do we got here? We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48. So 49 if we count on what we can't keep, but that's not how we roll here. Anyway, hopefully I didn't cause any controversy. If I did, I guess that's life, and time will display it all. But we need to somehow figure out what a better way to figure out what codom is and what recessive is. And for me, I'm shooting with, if you don't even know what it's het for, then it ain't codom. And if you don't, and when you breed the two together, the cool part about codoms is you can stack them, but you can't stack a recessive. That's what's so cool about our platinum, our citrons, and our platinums, because that'll stack because it's two unrelated things. So even though they're both hets, they aren't compatible hets. So that's why the platrons are so impressive. And het genetic stripe has a marker too, and that's, if you pat those three together, it's even more crazy. There's so many markers people don't know. It's insane. And don't be tricked by the markers and call them codoms. So peace out, guys. Hope you guys have fun. Thought we'd talk about some deep, dark stuff about genetics just for fun, just to change it up. Hope you guys enjoy the videos, and more importantly, I hope you're enjoying your hobby. And keep living the dream, guys. Peace out.